The unlikely partnership. Maya Chen stared at the holographic maintenance report floating above her workbench, the blue glow reflecting off her grease-stained coveralls. The numbers didn't lie. Her repair shop was 3 months behind on rent, and the latest imperial tax hike threatened to be the final nail in the coffin. 20 years of engineering expertise, a degree from MIT, and here she was, barely keeping the lights on in the grimy outskirts of New Singapore Spaceport. The door chime rang, its usual cheerful tone somehow managing to sound desperate. Maya didn't look up. "We're closed for the day. Try Jensen's down on level 3. I require your specific expertise, Engineer Chen." The voice was melodic but otherworldly, each word precisely enunciated as if standard English was a newly acquired skill. Maya finally turned, and her breath caught. An Arcanian stood in her doorway. Tall, ethereal, with iridescent scales that shifted between deep purple and midnight blue. The alien's 4 eyes studied her with an unsettling intensity. "I am Saraval," the Arcanian said, moving with liquid grace into the workshop. "And I have a proposition that could solve both our problems." Maya's laugh was sharp and bitter. "Unless you're here to buy the entire shop. I doubt it." Zara's head tilted at an angle that would have been impossible for a human neck. "Better. I am here to hire you to restore something far more significant than this." She gestured at the cramped workshop with one elegant, 6-fingered hand. "Limited establishment." A data crystal materialized between Sara's fingers. She placed it on Maya's workbench, and a new hologram sprang to life. Coordinates, technical specifications, and survey data for what appeared to be an abandoned shipyard floating in deep space. "This facility has remained dormant for 3 centuries, Sara continued. "My sources indicate it contains technology that could revolutionize interstellar travel. However, its systems will only respond to human neural patterns." Maya studied the specs, her engineer's mind already racing ahead. The facility's design was unlike anything she'd seen before. Organic curves blended with geometric precision, suggesting an origin that predated even the Arcanian Empire. "Why me?" "Because, Maya Chen, I have analyzed every registered engineer in this sector. You alone possess both the technical brilliance and the—" Zara's scales rippled with what might have been amusement, necessary financial motivation. "And what's in it for you?" Maya's fingers traced the holographic schematics, noting the elegant efficiency of the design. "Arcanians aren't exactly known for their charitable ventures. My people face extinction," Sara said simply. "Our empire crumbles while we cling to tradition. We need innovation, revolution. We need human ingenuity." Maya's eyes narrowed. "So I'm your token human. You are my partner." Sara's voice carried the weight of a formal proclamation. "Equal share in whatever we discover. Full access to all technology we recover. And this." Another crystal appeared, this one displaying a number that made Maya's eyes widen. "Advanced payment for your services." Maya should have said no. Should have remembered every cautionary tale about deals too good to be true. Instead, she found herself asking, "When do we leave?" 3 days later, Maya stood in the observation deck of Sara's personal transport, watching as they approached the coordinates from the data crystal. The shipyard emerged from the darkness like a ghost, a massive structure of gleaming metal and crystalline spires, untouched by time and space dust. "Beautiful, isn't it?" Sara said, appearing silently beside her. "The facility's outer hull is composed of self-repairing nanomaterials. Even after centuries of abandonment, it maintains its structural integrity." Maya nodded, but something was nagging at her engineer's instincts. The facility's design was elegant, yes, but there were elements that seemed purposeful, defensive. This was more than a shipyard. Their ship docked with a smoothness that belied the facility's age. The airlock cycled, and Maya stepped into history. Emergency lighting flickered to life, revealing corridors that curved organically, their walls embedded with dormant control panels. Maya approached the nearest panel, her hand hovering over its surface. You said the systems only respond to human neural patterns. Correct. Our finest technicians have tried. Maya's fingers touched the panel. Light exploded outward, racing along the corridors like liquid fire. The facility hummed to life around them, and a voice echoed through the halls, ancient, powerful, and undeniably human. Welcome back, Director. It has been 327 years, 42 days, and 15 hours since last login. Would you like to resume Project Prometheus? Maya turned to Xara, whose scales had shifted to a startled silver. You want to tell me what Project Prometheus is? The Arcanian's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. I do not know. That information was not in any of our records. The facility's voice spoke again, this time with a note of urgency. Warning: multiple unauthorized vessels detected on approach vector. Hostile intent probable. Initiating defense protocols. Maya's fingers flew across the control panel, bringing up external sensors. Her blood ran cold. A dozen ships were emerging from FTL, their designs unmistakable. Imperial Arcanian warships. Sara. Maya's voice was deadly quiet. Want to explain why your Empire's entire 6th Fleet just showed up? The Arcanian scales had darkened to a deep, troubled violet. It would appear, partner, that we are not the only ones interested in Project Prometheus. The facility shuddered as the first warning shots streaked past. Maya Chen, MIT graduate and failed repair shop owner, found herself facing a choice: run back to her cramped workshop and mounting debt, or stand her ground and unravel a mystery 3 centuries in the making. She cracked her knuckles and grinned. Well then, let's see what this place can really do. Hidden legacy. The facility's defense grid activated with a precision that took Maya's breath away. Shield harmonics rippled across the structure's surface, deflecting the initial barrage from the Arcanian warships with contemptuous ease. But Maya knew better than to relax. Imperial ships weren't known for giving up easily. Security protocols require genetic verification for full system access. The facility's AI announced. Please proceed to the central laboratory for scanning. Maya shot Sara a questioning look. The Arcanian scales had settled into a troubled green. I swear, I did not know they would follow us. The Empire's interest in this facility was supposed to be purely theoretical. We'll deal with that later, Maya said, already moving. Right now, I want to know what's so special about this place that's worth sending a whole fleet. The central laboratory was a massive circular chamber dominated by a holographic projection system that made Maya's repair shop equipment look like children's toys. As they entered, the room came alive with swirling displays of molecular structures and engineering schematics that Maya's trained eye recognized as far beyond current technology. Genetic sequence confirmed, the AI declared as Maya stepped onto the scanning platform. Welcome, Dr. Chen. Your genetic markers match those of Project Director Sarah Chen, 2157 to 2189. Maya froze. Sarah Chen. That's my great-grandmother. She disappeared during the First Contact Wars. She turned to Xara. You knew about this, didn't you? Before the Arcanian could respond, the AI continued. Project Prometheus was humanity's contingency plan against extinction-level threats. Dr. Chen led the development of revolutionary propulsion and weapons technology, creating systems that could adapt to any hostile force. The holographic displays shifted, showing ships with impossible configurations, engines that bent physics and weapons that could reshape reality itself. Maya's engineering mind reeled at the implications. Your ancestor discovered that human consciousness could interface with quantum systems in ways other species couldn't, Sarah said softly. But the project was abandoned when she vanished. The facility sealed itself, waiting for another Chen. A proximity alarm blared. The Imperial fleet had surrounded the facility, their weapons charging for another salvo. A new voice crackled through the comm system, cold, imperious, and distinctly Arcanian. This is Admiral Ven of the Imperial 6th Fleet. Surrender the facility or be destroyed. You have 5 minutes to comply. Maya's fingers danced across the control panels, bringing up system diagnostics. AI, do you have a name? This system is designated Atlas. The AI replied. Would you prefer a different designation? Atlas is fine. Maya studied the readouts. What are our chances against a full Imperial fleet? Current defensive capabilities are at 47% efficiency due to long-term dormancy. Probability of successful defense, 23.4%. Azura's scales had shifted to a deep crimson. The Admiral is my father. He will not stop until he has what he wants. Maya's laugh held no humor. Family drama. Perfect. She turned to the Arcanian. Why didn't you tell me about my great-grandmother? Would you have believed me? Xara's 4 eyes fixed on Maya. If I had said this facility was your birthright, built by your ancestor to protect humanity, you needed to discover it yourself. Another impact rocked the facility. Maya grabbed a console for support, her mind racing. The engineering schematics floating around them represented technological advances that could reshape civilization or destroy it. No wonder the Empire wanted control. Atlas, show me the facility's production capabilities. The AI complied, bringing up diagrams of automated manufacturing systems that lined the facility's lower levels. Maya's eyes widened as she understood what she was seeing. This wasn't just a research station. It was a fully autonomous shipyard, capable of building vessels that could outmaneuver anything in known space. 3 minutes until Imperial deadline, Atlas announced. Maya straightened. Decision made. Atlas, begin reactivation of all manufacturing systems. Sara, I need everything you know about Imperial fleet tactics. We're not giving up this facility. The Empire will not forgive this. Tara warned, but her scales had shifted to an eager purple. They'll be too busy trying to survive it. Maya pulled up the weapon schematics, her great-grandmother's legacy unfolding before her. Atlas, initiate Project Prometheus. Full awakening protocol. The facility shuddered, but this time it wasn't from weapons fire. Deep within its structure, ancient machines roared to life. Manufacturing arms began to move, constructing weapons and defenses that hadn't been seen in 3 centuries. Energy readings spiked as dormant systems activated, and Maya felt the facility's power thrumming through her bones. Warning, Atlas announced. Full activation will alert additional Imperial forces. Recommend preparing for extended conflict. Good, Maya said, watching as the first wave of automated defense drones launched from newly opened bays. Because they're about to learn why you don't underestimate human ingenuity. Admiral Ven's voice returned, tight with controlled rage. 1 minute remaining. Do not force us to destroy a priceless historical relic. Maya opened a channel. This isn't a relic, Admiral. It's humanity's future. She turned to Xara. Last chance to walk away. This isn't your fight. The Arcanian scales rippled with determination. My people need to evolve or die. I choose evolution. As the Imperial deadline expired, and the first salvos of real combat began, Maya Chen stood in her great-grandmother's laboratory, surrounded by the fruits of human innovation. She didn't know if they could win against an entire Imperial fleet, but she knew one thing. Project Prometheus was about to change everything. And somewhere in the facility's vast databanks, Sarah Chen's final message waited to be discovered, along with the true purpose of the project that had cost her her life. Rising storm. Imperial warships filled the void around the facility, their energy weapons painting deadly patterns against the quantum shields. Maya watched from the command center as her great-grandmother's defensive systems fought back with terrifying efficiency. Each drone that launched from the facility moved with impossible grace, using attack patterns that seemed to anticipate the enemy's every move. Atlas, Maya called out, studying the tactical display. What exactly am I looking at? These drones are moving in ways that violate basic physics. Project Prometheus incorporated quantum entanglement principles into basic ship operations. The AI responded. The drones operate on probability matrices, existing in multiple states until the moment of impact. Azura's scales shimmered with professional appreciation as she watched a squadron of Imperial fighters dissolve into quantum particles. Magnificent, my people's great... A hologram flickered to life, an older woman with Maya's eyes and determined expression. Sarah Chen, looking exhausted but triumphant, recorded in the final days before her disappearance. If you're seeing this, you're likely my descendant, and the facility has recognized your genetic signature. Project Prometheus was never just about weapons or ships. It was about evolution, human consciousness interfacing directly with quantum systems, expanding our understanding of reality itself. The hologram gestured, and the laboratory came alive with demonstrations of her work. Ships that could phase through solid matter, energy fields that could redirect gravity, and at the center of it all, a prototype device that pulsed with otherworldly power. The quantum interface matrix, Sarah's hologram explained, capable of linking a human pilot's consciousness directly to quantum probability fields. The Empire feared it. They tried to shut us down, to control technology they couldn't understand. I refused to let them have it. Now it's your turn to decide. Will you complete what we started? The facility shuddered under another Imperial barrage. Maya's hands traced the matrix's surface, feeling the potential humming beneath its skin. Atlas, what happens if we activate this? Unknown, the AI admitted. The matrix was never fully tested. Theoretical models suggest it could exponentially enhance our defensive capabilities, but the strain on an untrained human consciousness would be severe. Maya's fingers found familiar patterns in her great-grandmother's design. The engineering was elegant, generations ahead of its time, but fundamentally human in its approach. This wasn't alien technology to be feared. It was humanity pushing its own boundaries. How bad are we losing up there? Shield integrity at 34% and falling. Quantum drone reserves at 47%. Without intervention, the facility will be overwhelmed in approximately 17 minutes. Maya took a deep breath, her decision already made. Begin matrix initialization sequence. And Atlas. Access my great-grandmother's personal logs. I want to know everything that happened 300 years ago. As the matrix hummed to life, Sarah Chen's final log entries played through the lab's speakers. The story they told was one of betrayal, not just by the Empire, but by elements within humanity itself. People who feared the power Project Prometheus might unleash. The same forces that had forced Sarah to fake her own disappearance, hiding her work until humanity was ready. The Matrix's activation sequence reached critical levels, quantum energy arsing between its containment pylons. Maya stepped onto the interface platform, feeling reality itself bend around her. Warning, Atlas announced. Matrix synchronization will fundamentally alter your perception of space-time. There is a 68% chance of permanent psychological effects. Maya thought of the Imperial fleet above, of Sarah's people facing extinction because they feared change, of her own species' potential waiting to be unleashed. Sometimes you have to break reality to build a better one. Execute synchronization. The Matrix activated, and Maya Chen's consciousness expanded beyond the boundaries of normal space. She saw quantum probability waves as solid things, understood how to bend the laws of physics with a thought. Through the facility's sensors, she watched as Admiral Ven's fleet prepared their final assault. They had no idea what was coming. Atlas, she commanded, her voice resonating with newfound power. Show them what Project Prometheus can really do. All systems, full quantum engagement. The battle that followed would rewrite the rules of space warfare forever. And somewhere in the quantum probability streams, Sarah Chen smiled as her great-granddaughter took humanity's next evolutionary step. Breaking point. Reality twisted around Maya Chen like a living thing. Through the quantum interface matrix, she experienced space-time as a fluid medium. Each probability wave a thread she could weave into new patterns. The facility's systems responded to her enhanced consciousness, quantum weapons moving with impossible precision to counter the Imperial fleet's attacks. Fascinating. Sarah's voice reached her through the quantum link. "You're rewriting the laws of physics in real time." Maya watched as a wave of her quantum drones phased through an Imperial cruiser's shields, emerging inside its hull to disable critical systems. The ship's power grid collapsed, leaving it dead in space. The Matrix shows me possibilities, paths through probability that shouldn't exist, but the human mind can imagine them, so they become real. Admiral Ven's flagship launched another barrage, but Maya saw the attack forming before the energy beams left their emitters. The facility's shields shifted to perfect counter-frequencies, absorbing the assault and redirecting it into their own weapons. "Father never understood," Sarah said, her scales shifting through patterns Maya could now perceive on quantum levels. "Our empire stagnates because we fear what we cannot control. But humans, you embrace chaos, shape it into innovation." Warning signals flashed through Maya's expanded consciousness. Deep in the facility's manufacturing sectors, something was wrong. Production lines were deviating from their patterns, creating components that didn't match any known specifications. "Atlas, what's happening in Sector 7? The AI's response carried traces of concern. "Unknown. Manufacturing protocols have been overridden by an external source. Quantum signatures suggest. Impossible. They match Sarah Chen's personal codes." Maya directed her awareness deeper into the facility's systems, following the trail of altered manufacturing. What she found sent ripples through the quantum field, a hidden production line, building something that defied conventional engineering. "My great-grandmother left more than just messages," Maya realized. She embedded quantum-encrypted routines throughout the facility, waiting for the right moment to activate. A new hologram materialized in the command center. Sarah Chen again, but this recording felt different, more immediate. "If you're seeing this, the Matrix integration was successful. Now comes the hard part." The hidden production line's purpose became clear as its first creation emerged. A ship unlike anything Maya had ever seen. Its hull rippled with quantum energy, its very structure existing in multiple states simultaneously. Project Prometheus was never meant to be just a defensive system. Sarah's hologram continued. "It's a bridge, the first step toward humanity's quantum evolution. But there are those who would stop us, who fear change so much they'd rather see us stagnate." The tactical display lit up with new signatures. More Imperial ships were arriving, not just warships, but vessels bearing the markings of the Arcanian Science Division. "They're deploying quantum-dampening fields," Atlas reported, "attempting to isolate and contain our probability manipulations." Maya felt the pressure as reality tried to reassert itself, limiting her connection to the quantum realm. The Empire wasn't just trying to destroy the facility. They wanted to erase the very possibility of this technology existing. "Sarah," Maya called through gritted teeth, "I need to know right now. Are you with us completely? Because what comes next will change everything. Your people, mine, the whole galaxy." The Arcanian scales shifted to a color Maya had never seen before, one that existed somewhere between quantum states. "My father fights for an empire of dust, clinging to laws that chain us to our own destruction. I choose the future." Sarah's hologram smiled. "The ship is called the Quantum Dawn. It's the key to everything. But using it requires a price. The human mind was never meant to exist in quantum superposition indefinitely. The longer you stay merged with the Matrix, the more you risk losing yourself to probability." Maya watched through quantum-enhanced senses as the Imperial fleet deployed in attack formation. Their dampening fields were growing stronger, trying to cage possibility itself. She could feel the strain on her consciousness, reality and quantum states warring for dominance in her mind. "Atlas, what are our options?" "Primary systems at 82% efficiency. Quantum Dawn prototype at 94% completion. However, medical subsystems indicate dangerous levels of neural stress. Continued matrix exposure may result in permanent consciousness fragmentation." The facility shuddered as the Imperial Science Division ships added their firepower to the assault. Maya could see the quantum probability waves bending under their combined dampening fields, feel her enhanced perception starting to fragment. Through it all, Sarah Chen's final message played. The choice was always going to come to this: risk everything for evolution, or surrender to the fear of change. I made my choice 300 years ago. Now it's your turn. Maya Chen, quantum-enhanced human consciousness stretched across probability itself, faced her moment of truth. The quantum dawn waited in its berth, a ship that could rewrite the rules of space travel. The Imperial fleet pressed their attack, determined to prevent humanity's next step. And somewhere in between, her own mind threatened to scatter across quantum possibilities. Atlas, begin Quantum Dawn launch sequence. Sarah, get ready to move. We're about to show the Empire why humans never let physics tell us what's impossible. The battle for humanity's evolutionary future was about to enter its final phase. And Maya Chen, heir to Project Prometheus, would either transcend her species' limitations or be torn apart by possibilities. Final stand. The Quantum Dawn hung in its launch bay like a dream made real, its hull shifting between states of matter as quantum possibilities played across its surface. Maya felt its call through the Matrix interface, a song of infinite potential that resonated with her enhanced consciousness. But first, they had to survive the next few minutes. Imperial science vessels are focusing their dampening fields. Atlas reported. Quantum probability manipulation will be impossible in approximately 3 minutes. Maya watched through quantum-enhanced senses as reality began to solidify around them, probability waves collapsing into single states. The facility's defenses were losing their quantum advantage, becoming merely advanced rather than impossible. Maya. Admiral Ven's voice cut through all frequencies, quantum and conventional. Your grandmother's research nearly shattered reality itself. The human mind cannot safely contain quantum consciousness. Stand down, and we can help you. Through the quantum link, Maya felt Sarah's anger flare. He means they'll study you, dissect the process until they can control it. That's all the Empire does now. Control, contain, suppress. Maya directed her attention to the Quantum Dawn's launch preparations while simultaneously coordinating the facility's remaining defenses. Each moment in quantum consciousness felt like an eternity, possibilities branching and recombining. She could feel her own thoughts starting to fragment, spreading across probability states. Atlas, access my great-grandmother's final files. What was Project Prometheus really meant to achieve? The AI's response came with a burst of decrypted data. Project Prometheus was designed to force evolutionary advancement through controlled quantum exposure. Dr. Chen theorized that humanity's next step required a bridge between classical and quantum existence. And the Quantum Dawn. It is not merely a ship. It is a quantum consciousness accelerator designed to spread the effect across space-time itself. Maya felt the truth of it through the Matrix interface. The ship wasn't just a vessel. It was a catalyst, meant to trigger a transformation that would ripple through both human and Arcanian civilization. No wonder the Empire feared it. Final dampening field activation in 60 seconds. Atlas warned. Quantum Dawn launch window closing. Maya made her decision. Sarah, get to the Dawn's auxiliary control center. Atlas, begin final launch sequence and transfer core consciousness to the ship's systems. Time to show everyone what evolution really means. The facility's remaining quantum drones launched in a final devastating wave, their impossible movements buying precious seconds as Maya and Sarah raced for the Quantum Dawn. Through the Matrix, Maya felt the Imperial dampening fields closing in, trying to lock reality into a single state. Admiral Ven's flagship moved to block their escape vector, its weapons charging. This ends now. 3 centuries of containing this madness. It stops here. Maya reached the Dawn's bridge as quantum possibilities collapsed around them. The ship's systems integrated seamlessly with her enhanced consciousness, offering new layers of probability manipulation. Sarah's voice came through the internal comms. Auxiliary control ready. But Maya, your neural patterns are destabilizing. She was right. Maya could feel herself spreading too thin across quantum states, her identity threatening to dissolve into pure probability. But ahead lay humanity's next step, and behind was stagnation. The choice was already made. Atlas, initiate quantum dawn primary drive. The ship's quantum core activated, creating a bubble of pure probability around them. In that space, all things were possible, even escaping an Imperial fleet's perfect blockade. Maya reached out with her fracturing consciousness, feeling the quantum fields respond. To all ships, she broadcast, her voice resonating across conventional and quantum frequencies. Project Prometheus was never about weapons or power. It was about breaking free from the prison of single-state existence. Evolution isn't something you can control or contain. It's a leap into the unknown. The quantum dawn phased through the Imperial blockade as if it didn't exist, reality rewriting itself in their wake. But Maya wasn't done. Through the ship's quantum core, she initiated Sarah Chen's final protocol, a cascade of quantum consciousness that reached out to every mind in range, human and Arcanian alike. For one eternal moment, everyone experienced it, the infinite possibility of quantum existence, the power of consciousness unbound by classical physics. Maya felt her own identity finally dissolving, spreading across probability space like stars across the galaxy. Admiral Ven's last transmission came through. What? What have you done? Finished what Sarah Chen started. Maya replied, her consciousness now one with the quantum field. You can't stop evolution, Admiral. You can only choose to be part of it. The quantum dawn accelerated beyond conventional spacetime, leaving behind a transformed fleet. In its wake, both human and Arcanian minds began to awaken to new possibilities, the quantum consciousness cascade triggering changes that would reshape civilization itself. Sarah stood on the dawn's auxiliary bridge, her scales shifting through quantum states as her own consciousness expanded. What now? The being that had once been Maya Chen existed everywhere and nowhere, spread across quantum probability space, but somehow still coherent. Now we explore. There are infinite realities out there, infinite possibilities for both our species to evolve. The dawn of quantum consciousness is just the beginning. As the ship ventured into uncharted possibility space, Maya's last human thought merged with the quantum field. Some boundaries are meant to be broken, some limits meant to be transcended. In the end, humanity's greatest strength was never its technology, but its willingness to leap into the unknown, to risk everything for the next step forward. Project Prometheus had fulfilled its purpose. The evolution of consciousness had begun. And in the quantum realm of infinite possibility, humanity's next chapter was just beginning.